part of your circle. Jesus didn't just teach from pulpits, from the synagogue. He ate at tables. He welcomed sinners, tax collectors, the broken, the outcast. His hospitality was his witness. He didn't wait for people to come to him. He brought heaven close to them. That's what we are called to do, brothers and sisters. Open your home doesn't mean you're going to open your home, everybody to pass through your door. Hey, come into my house. No. You intentionally not only pray about those you invite in, but you intentionally and full of love prepare them and tell them honestly. But don't deceive them. So come to my house and then you suddenly chuck the word of God through their throat. That won't work. Be intentional. Say, listen, I'm having a tea time in my house. Would you like to come? And this, I want to share with you my faith. If they're your friends as well, if you invite somebody, and then their friends will invite somebody that they know, you don't know, but you are opening your house to a stranger that you don't know, somebody else know, but then that's it. That's how it happens. When someone walks through the door of our church, how they are greeted, treated, seated, and followed up with, that's their first sermon. Did you know that? That's their first sermon. Do they feel seen? Do they feel safe? Do they feel like they belong? Because before people ask, is God real? They are asking, do I matter? Yes, you do matter. You that came here this morning, you do matter. And hospitality answers that question with a resounding yes. You don't have to be a preacher to reach people, my brothers and sisters. You don't have to have a gift of evangelist or you're a pastor. No, theologian. All you need is to be a disciple of Christ. And when we are a disciple of Christ, we should bear what Christ asked us to bear, which is to love one another. Love one another, and the world will know that God has sent me when you have love for one another. You don't have to be a preacher, as I said. You just have to care enough to create a space. Space at your table. Space in your schedule. Space in your life. So this week, I want to challenge yourself. Ask, who haven't I invited? Who's new that I could sit with and check on? Those people come to church, they come for the first time, they're welcome, the second time, nobody talks to that person. How can my home or my life become a bridge to Jesus? When we love people like this, with a warm heart, open doors, and consistent care, walls come down and hearts open up. Walls come down and hearts open up. Because hospitality isn't about entertaining. It is about inviting. It's about making them feel at home. And sometimes the greatest outreach tool we have is our dinner table. It's lovely to eat together, isn't it? It's already lovely to eat, huh? A lot of people love eating. But let me tell you, Jesus reached wide. So should we. Jesus didn't stay inside a synagogue. We shouldn't stay inside of the church. Only become a Sunday goers. My commitment to Christ, my commitment to church is only on Sunday morning. When I go and I enjoy the lovely worship and I give my tithes and my offerings, I fulfill my duty and I listen to that bloke preach with that strange accent of his. And then when I finish, go have my coffee, say hello to some people and go home. And then you're back next Sunday. What about the rest of your week? Actually, Sunday morning service should be a powerful evangelistic morning. How? Because every Christian, every disciple who knows his Master Jesus Christ will come to this place and will celebrate what God has done throughout the week. And when you say hallelujah, God will bless like this. So you have a psalm, you have a song, you have something to tell that God did for you that will encourage somebody, that will touch somebody's heart, and they will say, yes, God is in this place and He is with His people. I want this for me, for my life. Jesus didn't stay in the synagogue. He reached out to the fishermen by the sea. He walked through Samaria to talk to a woman no one else would speak to. He healed in homes, preached from boats. He dined with sinners. And he touched lepers. Who would dare to touch lepers in those days? We may do that in a way. Jesus reached wide. And if we are His body, then so must we. No, the Great Commission wasn't a suggestion, brothers and sisters. How many of you consider yourselves a disciple of Christ? Raise your hand. How many disciples of Christ we have here? Let me see your hands. Okay. Those who have not raised your hand, you can become a disciple today. It wasn't a suggestion. Do you know what that is? That was a command. Go. I say a must. This is a command. Go and make disciples of all nations. Thank God we have many nations in this place. Go and make disciples of all nations. We have the wonderful and the biggest opportunity that you could ever have in your life. You can go and reach out to the nation. Right beside where you live, there is somebody else that is not from the same nation that you come from. That means the church isn't a clubhouse. It is a mission outpost. So when you walk through that door, when you go out through that gate, you should read a sign. And I want you to memorize that. And I've been saying that I'm going to put that sign very soon. And the sign is only on, you can read on this side, and I may put another message on the other side, but the side says, I'm stepping into a mission field. You go out there and you preach the gospel and you witness about Christ, and every single believer is a missionary in disguise. You know, one of the things, as I said this to you before, Brazil is a very large country, and we have cities scattered all over. I mean, my state is one of the states who have more cities in the whole Brazil, but they're small ones, small villages and small towns and cities. And those very remote places, you would find three common things in most of them. First thing you would do, you will find a Catholic church. Because the Catholic went everywhere, and everywhere they went, they established a Catholic building, a Catholic church building. They dominated Brazil for many years. They actually slaved the people of Brazil for many years, religiously speaking. Then you would find a Coca-Cola sign. Everywhere you'll find a small door where people would sell those convenience store, and the sign would be like Coca-Cola. And then the third thing you would find in those remote places would be another sign, say, Assemblies of God. Do you know why? Because when the Assemblies of God movement, the revival or the charismatic movement in Brazil started by a Swiss pastor, missionary, that went to Brazil and started preaching about the power of the Spirit of God, the gifts of the Spirit of God, and the healing, and miracles were happening, and God was transforming people in lives. And the church, they taught them, every member of this church is a missionary. So even though they were in big cities, when they moved to a small town, what they've done is they turned their house into a church, open for everybody. And that's how the Assemblies of God became the biggest denomination in Brazil. Not so much these days. Lost the way somewhere. But we can't afford as a church, brothers and sisters, to become an inward-looking church. A church that only focuses on the current members. A church that makes newcomers feel like outsiders. You know, there's a couple who came here once. He said, I've been in many places. And I've been in many churches. Came here today for the first time. And I want to stay here and I want to know more about Jesus. Because I've been looking for that. And we baptized him here. A church that, we can't be a church that forgets its mission. We are here for the ones who aren't here yet. That includes the single parent trying to survive another week, the teenager wondering if life is worth living, the couple on the edge of divorce, the addict who think God is done with them. We are not just lengthening our cords, brothers and sisters, to build a bigger tent. No, we are lengthening cords to pull people into the arms of Jesus. This is the heart of God, that his house would be full, as Luke said. And if we want to see revival, we must stretch our hearts wide enough to embrace people who don't talk like us, think like us, or vote like us, yet still deeply and they matter deeply to God. So ask yourself, who in your life needs to know Jesus? Ask that question. Who in your life needs to know Jesus? And what are you doing to reach them? What part can you play in helping our church stretch wider? Because when we reach wide, we reflect Jesus, the one who left heaven to reach us. So I'd like to close this service with this message. Lengthen your reach. You know, the tent is ready. The cords are stretched. The harvest is coming. But now comes the real question. Who are we reaching for? God has placed us here in this town of Edgeware. In this season, not to play safe, brothers and sisters, but to reach wide, to invite boldly, to welcome radically, and to carry the hope of Jesus to the ones who haven't heard it yet. So this week, let us not just stretch our schedules, let's stretch our hearts. Let's deep our lives into a prayer for life. Let's not just talk about outreach. Let's do it, shall we? Let's go after the ones who wandered. Let's invite the ones we are, we have overlooked. Let's prepare this house to be a place of rescue and restoration, because we stretch wide in love, God will then stretch wide in blessing. So revival isn't coming just to fill a room. It is coming to fill eternity with souls of people who need Jesus. And that starts here with us. So church, let's lengthen our reach, shall we? Let's be a church that doesn't wait for them to come, and we go and bring them in. So that's a challenge for you. Start to pray about somebody, but don't keep not only praying, but start to invite people. Invite them to your house for a coffee. Go out with them. If you think you don't have enough space, go out. And let's bless this town. Let's bless this nation, shall we? In Jesus' name. Let's stand and pray.